Starting tomorrow is the Channelversary, year 4. Feels like it's been 2, honestly. For this video, I just kind of want to talk about why I started this channel and the process that's been going on for these past 4 years, making all of these videos. A lot of work has gone into it. So let's talk about the story, how it all happened. And we'll start from the very beginning, because it's a good place to start. It's the Lily factor. Ding! It's hard to pinpoint what exactly inclined me to get started making a channel because I feel like it's a culmination of things. I've always enjoyed making videos. When I was little, I would make videos all the time on my 3DS. This little thing right here. I would make videos on it all the time, specifically funny ones. They weren't exactly art videos like they are now. But I always enjoyed doing that. When I got older, I realized that there was a time-lapse feature on the phone that could speed up your video footage really fast. And I thought that was really cool because I was like, I could prop my phone up, hit record, and I could see my drawings come to life really fast. What I would do is, I'll get a graham cracker box, a vitamin pill case thing here, and I would tape this down to the graham cracker box, as well as take my phone, let's just pretend this is what that is, and I would prop it up and tape it, so then you'd have the sketchbook over here. If you just hover it over, it would be able to record the drawing. So that's how I would do like old time-lapse videos when I was really young, before I even thought about starting a channel. 2019 was like a pivotal year for me. It was a very difficult year and season. A lot of bad things were going on for me and my family at that time. While a lot of bad things were happening, there was some good things that happened, and that was truly God's doing there, where I walked into Zag Studios, which at the time I was a really big fan of Miraculous, and I was a really big fan of that studio and their work. I liked watching some of their other cartoons. During that time, we were constantly flying to California like every month for reasons, and I had prayed, gosh, I think it was like a year before. I read in a devotional that you shouldn't be afraid to ask God for things, that you can just pray and he'll answer, whether it's a yes or a no. Don't be afraid to ask. And at that time I interpreted it as like, okay, yeah, sure, let me just pray that I can visit Zag Studios, and feel really stupid for asking, which I did, but I was like, hey, it said I could do it, so I'll just ask and then I'll just let it go, So I asked. A year later, I walked into Zag Studios. And then I walked in there again. Yeah, God definitely answered that prayer. So at that point, I got really inspired, and I started looking into creating an Instagram page because some of the people I met there recommended that I have some sort of social media platform where people can see my work. If I'm meeting somebody in the industry and they go, well, where can I find your work? To have a place for that would be important. So I took that advice and I created an Instagram account. And it was at this point where I started looking into social media in terms of like art to learn things. I had watched YouTube tutorials growing up, and those were really helpful for me because that's how I first started to like blossom in terms of drawing, because the first things I watched for YouTube tutorials as a kid were how to draw Sonic characters. So that was really important to me, learning how to do that. And it helped me get excited as an artist, to grow and improve as an artist. I started looking back into YouTube again because then I came across Copic markers, and I knew they were expensive markers that had very different features than the regular Crayola markers that I had experience using. So I wanted to figure out how I could best use them, looking into tutorials on how to do so. And I started to come across various YouTube channels that seeing all kinds of artists and their different techniques and how they explored their work in different mediums, and it was really inspiring for me at that time. So then it just kind of became this thing where I just blossomed, where I started to grow and improve my artwork much faster than I ever done before. I started experimenting with different mediums and things, really exploring, trying to understand how to get better, how to do what I saw these other artists doing, how to try new mediums and everything. Watching artists document that on YouTube through video was also really inspiring to me, because I thought, well, wait a second, I could do that. So it became interesting to think about what it would be like if I started documenting my process and my first time exploration of new mediums and such that I had never tried before. And I got excited by the prospect of that, sharing my creative process. In August of 2020, I guess I'm just going off of memory now, but at this point I think I had been thinking about it a lot more, and at this point it was during COVID too, so at this time I had spent a lot of time conversing with friends via Marco Polo. So we would send each other videos back and forth, just kind of talking about whatever we wanted. And at that time, because I was just talking about whatever I wanted to talk about, I was always talking about art supplies and different mediums. And sometimes I would be like, oh, today I'm going to show you how to paint with watercolors, or how to draw this and that, how to use these markers. And I have one friend on there who was also really getting into art at the time. And so I was especially sharing that kind of stuff with her, because she really wanted to know, like, how do you draw like that? How do you use this medium? At that point, it started to dawn on me that I really enjoyed doing it. I knew I wasn't great at it. I was still learning. Because sometimes I would send polls that would be like 20 minutes long of how to draw this. And, friends would be like, that was a little too long. Oops. In August of 2020, the same friend who I had been especially sharing art Marco Polos to, who'd really been encouraging me in that area, she had invited me to a devotional. One day in that devotional, it talked about sharing your gifts. And I guess I had been praying about it at that time, like, God, should I start a YouTube channel or something? I've been thinking about it a lot harder. And then I read that devotional day, and the comment I had in the devotional, I said there was some other things I had read that day that I also felt kind of encouraging me towards starting a YouTube channel. And I don't remember what those were, but I could find the devotional, and it was talking about sharing your gifts. And it shared the story of like this woman's grandmother who had this really great fudge recipe, and people would ask for the recipe and she'd go, yeah, I'll share it with you, and would give them a fake recipe. And so many people missed out on the great fudge recipe, but when the grandmother passed, her daughter did end up sharing with people the actual fudge recipe. So I was just kind of talking about, like, think about what people miss when you don't share your gifts. It got me thinking about it, like, okay, this is something I want to do, and I'm feeling called to do it. So I decided to start a YouTube channel, and it was definitely a learning process, because there were some mistakes I made from the first video I uploaded, the way channels are set up, like with the email and everything. I think it was using my direct email or something, and that wasn't what I wanted, so I had to like kind of change it around quickly after the first video. That was the other thing. Before I even got the channel started and decided I wanted to start a YouTube channel, I became determined to make art videos. So then my setup changed from the graham cracker box that we all know and love. Changed to this old thing. And at the time when I first started making art videos, I shot them in the evening, so it would be really dark out. So I would use this light and my, well, it's out of view, but I have a Luxo lamp kind of over there. And I'd point these lights, and I would clip this thing here onto this part of my desk, and I would turn the camera over here. The first ugly reality you get when you start making art videos and filming them is shadows. Because I started filming in the evenings, it would be dark out by the time I started filming, and I'd have these really harsh shadows cast over the drawings, and you could barely see it. So I'd have to set up my camera in a specific way and the lights, and it was very it was very janky. It just didn't didn't feel right. It wasn't easy to do, and it definitely wasn't ideal, but I enjoyed making videos so much that it was worth it to me. I didn't really start to worry about making things perfect yet. It didn't matter to me as much as it mattered just to get started. The other thing too, in terms of getting started, was making like the banner and all the outros, intros, setting all of that up. Fun fact, the first video I ever made for the channel was the second video I ever uploaded. This one. I made this video first. It was kind of my process for... I remember I struggled so much with making thumbnails. I still do, honestly. I'm not really a fan of graphic design. It's something I struggle with because I have so much information I want to give that it's hard for me to like hone in on, okay, you're just gonna have to let some details go. Just have people focus on the basic things, what the video offers and what the title is. So I would like put in these really blurry photos. Because I also didn't want to reveal too much of the drawing. This one was actually the only time I put a little more effort into the thumbnails, because, you know, I would bring in the picture, do little boxing gloves. Oh, I almost gave it a face. But yeah, it was like me battling the acrylic paints. So I had like my little animated intro. It didn't have a lot of frames because I rushed this one. The day I finished filming the second art video I uploaded, which was the first art video I made, I realized, okay, I want to have like it's the Lily Factor ding animated intro, because that was something that we would always say with my family and I, it was the Lily Factor ding before I even made a channel. You can read more about that story in my channel description. But that's something I always said, so I knew I wanted to have an intro that kind of displayed that. So I kind of rushed to make that. So I remember like I sat in my closet so I could see it better in the dark. But yeah, I started working on that. And I definitely went for a different stylization. I was going for more like a sticker. I even drew eyes differently than how I would ever draw eyes, with that just blacked out pupil with a little white highlight in there. It's not something I've ever done any other time than the YouTube channel stuff. But yeah, so I didn't give it a whole lot of frames because I was just trying to get it done. Like I said, I just wanted to make videos, so I went about as quick as I could to just get the channel started. And I also learned too very quickly, because you look up like, oh, how to make or what size you should make a YouTube channel banner. So this was the first one I made. I just decided to take one of my favorite drawings at the time, a little fan art of Philly Second there, and draw, you know, some lightning shooting out of her to make the Lily Factor title, which was really cool, and I was so proud of it. Well, you set it up, and YouTube's like, oh no, that's what people are gonna see, but the actual size you need is this. Which I was not a fan of that change, but you did what you had to do. Of course, it doesn't really tell you a whole lot about what the channel offers, but I went pretty quickly with that. I had the first art video I uploaded, which was the second art video I ever made with the YouTube channel in mind, and I knew I wanted this to be the first video I uploaded, which is why I waited to even start the channel until I finished this video, because I wanted to kind of share my story of like how I became an artist and everything, and just kind of talk about that. It's funny to watch that video because my voice sounds a lot younger, and I don't think it was because you watch like the second video, my voice sounds a little deeper than it did this art video. I think I was just really nervous because I just talked a little higher than I usually do. I actually did the voiceover for this video at night. I guess I couldn't sleep or something, so I was just like recording it. I still had my oscillating fan on, so you could hear it in the background of my video, just like this. So, like I said, I had perfectionism in mind, but there were some things I just let slide because I just wanted to get started making videos. And then I saw like YouTube channels had outro drawings. I didn't really understand what they were for at the time, other than to like just give the viewer watching 10 seconds, you know, to click out of the video before a recommended video just popped up after the video was over. So like, thanks for watching, bye, and then oh no, a new video is playing, turn it off! So I did the outro for that reason. I didn't know that it was like, it would give you their channel and video recommendations for it. which it's not really something I try to do. I don't like to push subscribe or anything like that. I would do these outro drawings where it's like, thanks for watching, or is it washing? I can't quite remember. And I just would put little jokes hidden in there. Like I have some inside jokes here, Bob, Seagull, a ninja banana. The idea was, because I obviously the channel's me, so I was like, oh, I'll do a little me channel icon kind of thing. But then initially I had an idea where the outro drawings would always involve me and a bee, because my name's Lily. But I felt like that was too gimmicky after a while, me and the bee again, the last time we see the bee. And then I decided, though, by doing this, that I wanted to draw me for the outro drawings always wearing really stupid t-shirts. So that continues on. Let's see, what's the process for these? Oh, I apparently had a fly swatter that I was gonna attack bee with. Forgot about that. I love that Procreate has these time-lapse things. There's so many things you forget when you're in the middle of a drawing process. Like, what if this one was different? What is this one? I must know. Randomness is the key to success. I agree with that one. I live by the motto, be the strange you want to see. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of fun doing these kind of graphic-y words and stuff. Another outro drawing here. We have, oh, this was for the glitter art video. So I also tried to theme the outro drawings to go with like the video too. And I'm wearing a t-shirt that's, according to my cousin, how you call someone a parallelogram in Japanese. Yeah, that's really gonna come in handy for me. Was there anything different about this one? Nope. Looks like it's pretty much just the same drawing. I struggled with banners at the beginning. They always looked so gray. I hated that. Oh man. I would just take really low quality JPEG photos of my drawings and then throw them into Procreate and just, you know, put the title. But I would use black with lightened opacity so that you could see the text better, which is why they always turned out gray. I learn, I get better at it. This video here was at a point that kind of hit me where I decided that I wanted to kind of change the direction of how I made art videos. Believe it or not, it was this one. Because I remember at the time someone told me that a lot of my videos were kind of like a YouTube artist, who even I watched at the time, so it wasn't like an insult hearing it. It was actually a compliment. But I remember thinking, but I don't want to be like this YouTube artist. Even though I really enjoy them and everything, I don't want to be a carbon copy of them. So I started to think, well, what is something that I know this artist wouldn't do? And that was the first step. That was the first step. The editing was really the primary thing that would have needed to change to make me kind of different from that artist. But yeah, that was my first jump. I remember hating this banner, and I had it for the longest time. And it was so, like, it's just, look at this, you zoom out, tell me what you see. Nothing! I've gone through many different banner ideas. I was gonna do one of me, like, leaning up against a table or something with, like, it's the Lily Factor title in there somewhere, using that template, you know. Oh, I was gonna draw buildings or something here. Wasn't it like, I think I was gonna draw someone on like a bicycle or something. Anyway, but then I was gonna do like me with a pencil table, some books. That's actually kind of interesting. Oh, and like my iPad. But I decided I didn't want to do that. I didn't commit to that. Here was another failed banner attempt, playing with little looks and designs. That could make like an interesting business card. If I had a business card. And I hated this one as well. But the initial idea was to have like yellow buffalo check in the background. You know, just put the little title, which probably would have been fine just leaving it like that. but then I had to go and add that shadow, and it's like I just got overkill there. Hang on, there's like a doodle of a person there. I guess that was gonna be a little micro doodle of me in there. Oh, and then I was gonna add backgrounds. Oh my gosh, I really explored these. Yeah, a lot of different concepts there, huh? Still wasn't crazy about this one. I liked it better than the last one. And then I had moved on to that judgmental faced character for the profile picture. I was originally going to do something like this. I kind of worked on that for a while, but I never... I was like, nah, I don't want that as like a profile picture thing. Kind of blah. What do you know? More banner attempts. I've got a lot of these. Because the main issue is like between putting the title and what your channel has to offer in there, you run into the, oh, I want to show my art and stuff in the banner too, but you run into the problem where they're just going to see this much. And then I was going to do another animation of me, but I stopped at 1 frame apparently. And then I did do a couple frames of this animation where it's kind of like a character on the sand making a sandman, but they were dressed for winter even though it was summer. I think I was like originally planning to make multiple different animated intros where they're kind of set up with different themes, different ideas in mind that always play back that title, you know? But I knew that was a lot of work, so I didn't commit to it. But you get a lot of different ideas. Oh, I kind of glossed over this. This video was like public for 10 minutes, and then I made it private because I was a closet fan and I didn't want people to know about it. To explain what those are from won't take me long. Just let me grab a figure on my desk. Yeah, they're from this, so there you go. That's... you probably would have guessed. But yeah, I had a video where I was drawing those characters, but 10 minutes later after uploading, I was like, you know what, I don't want people to know I'm a fan of this, so... And then there was this video where I finally got back into like a year break, finally got into making videos again. I never wanted to stop, but I did. I was going through stuff, you know, and I went through quite a few different versions of this video's thumbnail. So originally I was going for that one, but it kind of revealed too much of the drawing that I had that one. But that made it look like you were actually gonna see me. Looks like I also had a different thumbnail for the carnival cutout video. I actually kind of like that one. It's a little less confusing than that one. Oh well, neither really actually do it that much justice. Like I said, thumbnails, logos, like a graphic design. I'm learning. I'm not great at it. Oftentimes I would repeat outro drawings because I had that one where it's just me like kind of blushing and smiling, and I would recycle that one a lot because I realized I didn't enjoy always having to do the outro drawings. Like I just wanted to make the video, get it up, you know. After a while I started to get tired of having to make a new drawing every time I finished an art video. It's like, isn't the art video enough? Do I really have to keep making these outros? So I recycled that one a lot. But I had scrapped an outro drawing for one of the New Year videos where I think I was trying to mirror how... oh, it was the 4th New Year drawing. The 4th one, she has like this pose where she's hanging onto a lamppost and everything. And so I like was gonna doodle myself trying to figure out how on earth she did that pose, because you'd have to be really flexible to pull it off, but I decided midway I didn't want to do that. And then at this point, like I had made the new intro and everything, so I wanted to change the banner again, and I wanted to like change them for every season, so I was gonna do like a fall one where, you know, the characters in fall, and then, let's see, I know I have another one in here somewhere. Did I pass it? I did. Where I was like, what if I just use like pictures I've taken that were panoramic shots, so it's good banner size, but I decided I don't want to do that either. And then I also definitely did a lot of exploration of different profile pictures. I wanted to do some of like maybe like characters making silly faces, and I would change the profile picture every month to like some other silly face, but I decided not to do that because once again, too much drawing. too much. Oh yeah, and 5th New Year redraw also had a different thumbnail. So this is the one we have. This is what I was originally thinking about doing, which I kind of like the look of this one, like it's interesting, but at the same time this one does a better job of showing off that it's not just like drawings of characters, they all have backgrounds involved, whereas this one it's just like the character. After doing the New Year redraw, that's when I decided that the new banner should be like the character, because she's kind of, honestly, she's the channel mascot, not me. That's Nadja. I don't know if I've ever said her name. I named her years ago. I don't know why if I haven't said her name, I don't know why I haven't. But yeah, so that's Nadja. She's the New Year redraw girl. But I figured she's the reoccurring character, so, you know, I'll put like her little world as the banner background, and then, you know, her in it excitedly welcoming you to the channel with my animated intro logo there. And another little behind the artist thing. So I have like one sketchbook tour video that shows like some of my old art, but I would always draw like a little me icon that I always planned on using for animation, and I never did. So I decided to pay homage to it, and I drew that little icon version of me that I did when I was really young. And I drew that in for the little dot on the eye, so you still get the little sideways ponytail bow lily from her youth. When I started setting up the background around it, that would be the kind you see if you're watching YouTube on TV or whatever for the banner, I decided to start playing around with different textures and things, and I realized it started to kind of look like a movie theater. So I decided to draw silhouettes of me and my family, of us watching it like we're watching it in the theater or something. That's a little thing that I did. It's kind of an overview of all the little things I do. It's been a long journey of making art videos. So much art has been made for this channel. It's just fun to look back on it and kind of give you all an idea of just a little idea of all the work that's gone into it. But I'd like to thank you all for watching and coming along this process. I wanted to make this video to kind of dedicate, you know, to share the story of why I made this channel in the first place. The irony of it was that I was feeling kind of insecure about how I put this video together because it's not the same fancy editing I like to do typically. But what's so funny about it is during just talking about the story and the footage, it just kind of reminded me, oh yeah, I do this for fun, and I do this to share the fudge recipe, as it were. I decided to kick perfectionism to the curb, remind myself how I felt when I first started making art videos, which is that it's just plain fun. I just enjoy it, and I'm not doing it to impress anyone. I gotta stop treating myself like I'm doing it to impress people. But just enjoy the process. That's all art should be about. It's just to enjoy creating and enjoy the process of it. So I remind myself that again as I go through the story of these art videos. And just thank you again for coming along this process and this video. And enjoy this ending of seeing all of the art that I made the first year I made art videos for this channel. And may God bless you in your life and your art. Bye!